So that was Jericho Journey by Stefan Bulla. With this one, it's really about putting together like that dance quality and that singing quality together. So we have good martelet and very articulate bow strokes, as well as very smooth and connected slurs. So it's a combination of pretty much everything that we've been doing thus far. What I would suggest is practicing each section. So from the beginning to measure 9, that's the introduction. And then from 11, we have the accompaniment to the theme. So it's not the most important part because it's not the melody, but it is kind of what enriches the melody. It livens it up. It gives it a little bit more flavor. So it's very important to play it accurately, but it's not the theme, so we can be out of the way of sorts. And then the other thing is we also have to make sure from 20 on that we're very sure about our counting and that we count correctly. So from the top, make sure the first note, we just kind of chip it. We're really short. We don't want to drag that 8th note through the 8th rest. So off. And then try and keep the bow in the string. Stop on the string. And make sure it stops for the rest. Right? So feel that sense of style, being very short and then connecting the slurs. And then when you have the staccato dots, like at measure 7, really chip those notes. So you have, right, really, really short. And it's to follow later on. You have plenty of staccatos throughout. When you get to measure 13, you have an E, C sharp, E. Try and keep your first finger down on the D string, and then just take the C sharp across, but don't lift those fingers. So that way you can play and come right back. Keeping it really, really short for the first 8th note, but then you can tunnel those fingers so that you can get to the E quickly, right? So that was 13. Now, when you get to 20, I haven't decided if I want you to change your bow. We might do something of the sorts, but we need to make sure we diminuendo. I don't want to see us get to the tip of the bow at 20 and then do a big whop. It needs to be short. So you can do a light D and retake, right? So that it doesn't stick out. I'm just touching that D. Right, and then when you get to 27, those accents need to be really, really short. So not a lot of bow, just more weight. Digging in, right? And then 28, we get to the secondary theme. And then we get to that same kind of dotted quarter note, 8th note hook that we had in the hornpipe. So be careful about those hooks, right? And then low 2, stretching those 4th fingers. Measure 31, be careful of the B flat that's coming up. And open A is perfectly fine in measure 32. Except for the last one, I would keep it on the D string. Don't go to the A string and then come back to the D string. So keep it on the D string. Don't go to the A string because the next note's an F. Right? And then measure 34, count. Count, count, count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, up. And that last one's an up bow. And you count and you go right on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And then make sure you're going right on, keeping up the tempo. And then we have the key change at measure 40. So be careful about the key. We have no more B flats. We're now in 1 sharp, which is G major or E minor. So and then just be careful, like at measure 43, this is an up bow followed by an up bow slur. So it's kind of like a hook. So you do up, hook, B, G, right? G, F, G, and that's an up bow. We're going to hook to the F, B, right? So make sure we're careful about the bowing. So, and then again, measure 50, it's 1 and 2, 3, 4. Make sure that the 2 is really short. Can't make it connect to the third beat. So, really short. We get to the there are no divises for seconds, but 56 tremolo. It's as fast as you can, but make sure we're doing the dynamic. So start soft and crescendo. Then the next one even more. Right, and the last few notes, just set your first finger on both strings. The B on the A string and E on the D string at the same time, and then it's just chip, chip. Right? And then it's funny, you get these harmonics on your instrument. Like my violin's pretty sensitive, so by chipping, you'll hear the open E ring as well, which is okay. So hopefully you found this somewhat informative. Just be very careful about your articulations. Also, this one has a little bit more chromaticism, so you have more finger patterns to deal with, a lot more changes and key changes. So be aware of how to do the high threes, the low ones, high twos, low twos, all that good stuff. And then be very articulate and make sure you observe all your rests. So happy practicing and good luck.